What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Sports Degenerate podcast. NBA basketball is finally back. We did have two games last night, Timberwolves Lakers, Celtics Knicks, but the real NBA season starts today. So I can't promise you guys NBA bets every single day because we are knee deep into NFL season. I'm posting NFL betting content and fantasy football content. So if you're interested in that, check that out. So I can't promise NBA bets every day, but as much as I can, I'll give you guys some bets. So I got some game bets, some player parlays. Like always, let's hop into it. So let's start with the game bets. I have one money line parlay and two teasers. Let's start off with the money line parlay. It's a two-team parlay plus 104 odds. So if you put down 100, you're making over 100 profit. All we need is the Pacers to beat the Pistons and the Cavs to beat the Raptors. Both of these teams are starting off on the road, but I don't really mind it. I don't care that they're on the road. Both of these teams are better than their opponents. For the Pacers, we've seen how good this offense is. They are fast-paced and have so many players that can score in Halliburton, Siakam, Miles Turner, and the role players are pretty good. The Pacers are also just more experienced than the Pistons. The Pistons are really young and haven't really been used to winning. I think the Pistons are improving and they have a lot of talent, but to start the season, I'm taking the team with more experience. And then for the Cavs, this is just straight up talent. The Raptors are without RJ Barrett, Bruce Brown, and Kelly Olynyk in this game, and the Cavs have all of their important pieces in Mitchell, Garland, Mobley, and Allen. So that's an easy bet for me there. I'm taking the Cavs all day. So that is the two-team money line parlay. I have two 7-point teasers for you guys. Both of these parlays are at minus 140. So to profit 100, you need to bet 140. For you guys that follow my NFL bets, I like betting teasers because you get extra points in your favor. So you are way more likely to hit the bet. So I don't mind spending the extra $40 to make $100 profit because the chances of hitting are way higher. So the first teaser I have is an over-under teaser. We have Warriors versus Blazers under 227.5 and Suns versus Clippers over 219.5. So for the Warriors Blazers, both teams would need to score under 114, and I like that bet. The Warriors and Blazers played 4 times last season, and 3 of those 4 games hit the under, and the average score for both teams in those games were around 108 to 109, which would be an easy under for us. And then for the Suns Clippers over, we need both teams to score 110 points, and both of these teams have a lot of skill weapons. The Clippers are without Kawhi, so it does hurt their scoring. But honestly, it helps the Suns score more because Kawhi is a good defender. So I don't think Kawhi being out affects much for the total of the game. And these teams played each other 4 times last year. And in 3 of those 4 games, it went over this total. I like this line. And then the second teaser I have for you guys is a spread teaser. We have 76ers plus 9.5 versus the Bucks. And then we have the Cavs minus 0.5 versus the Raptors. So I already explained why I like the Cavs to beat the Raptors, so we don't have to talk about that. Let's hop in to the 76ers and Bucks. The only worry here is that Joel Embiid and Paul George are both out, but I still like this bet. The 76ers can lose by up to 9 points here. And we saw last year that Tyrese Maxey can be a number 1 option for this team, and the Sixers added two solid players in Caleb Martin and Eric Gordon. And they brought in Reggie Jackson, which isn't like a huge mover, but it helps us here. It helps us here in this game, a good depth piece. Another thing here is that the Bucks have lost 3 of their last 4 road openers in previous years. So we don't even need the Bucks to lose here. We just need the 76ers to lose by up to 9. So it is a little shaky because Embiid and George, but I like the bet. I'm trusting the number. So those are the 2 game bets, 1 moneyline parlay, 2 teasers. Let's hop into the player parlays. I use the Underdog Fantasy app for all of my player parlays. If you are a first-time user, go ahead and download the app and use my code CE2244, letter C, letter E, 2244 for a deposit match up to $1,000. So whatever money you put in, Underdog will give you back in free bets. Let's get into the props. I have 6 2-player parlays and 1 4-player parlay. For the people who have been following my bets for a while, I am a believer in 2-player parlays. Your odds of hitting are so much higher. So let's start off with the first one. We got Kevin Durant over 23.5 points and Trae Young over 25.5 points. So for Kevin Durant, 23.5 is way too low. He averaged over 27 last year, and if we are betting the over on this Suns-Clippers game, this goes hand in hand. For Trae Young, 25.5 is about spot on to what he averaged last year, but he averages over 28 points per game against the Nets, and the Hawks and Nets both have terrible defenses, so I expect a lot of scoring. The next parlay is a 3-pointer parlay. We got Bam Adebayo over 0.5 threes and Norman Powell over 2.5 threes. So for Bam, all we need is 1 3-pointer from him. The last 20 games of last season going into the playoffs, Bam started to shoot more 3-pointers, and we saw during the Olympics and in preseason this year, it continued to be a bigger part of his game. And then for Norman Powell, this is just a matchup thing. I expect a lot of scoring in this Clippers-Suns game. We bet the over, so I expect Powell to put up his threes. Next one, we got Josh Giddey over 25 points, rebounds, and assists, and Evan Mobley over 16 points. So for Josh Giddey over 25 PRA. Giddey is now the starting point guard for the Bulls, and the last time we saw Giddey with a full-time role was his sophomore year with the Thunder, and he averaged 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists, which is 30 total PRA. So, like I said, we haven't seen Giddey in a full-time role in a while because once Shai Gilgeous-Alexander came in, and then Jalen Williams came in, all those players came in, he kind of took a back seat. But with this Bulls team, he is a full-time player. So I like this line for him. And then for Evan Mobley, over 16 points. Mobley just signed an extension with the Cavs, so I expect him to continue to be a big part of the offense. I think they run the offense a little bit more through Mobley than they have previously. I can see him being close to 20 points per game this season, and the matchup is great against the Raptors. Next, we got Jaime Jaquez over 11.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And then LaMelo Ball over 7.5 assists. This Jaime line is way too low. He averaged almost 12 points last season. We can hit this line on points alone. And then for LaMelo's problem in his career has been health. He always gets hurt, but he's as healthy as he will ever be in Game 1 this season. And for 2 straight seasons, he's averaged over 8 assists. And then we got Tyrese Maxey over 28.5 points with Tyrese Halliburton double-double. So this bet is just tailing the game bets that we have. So for Maxey, I expect the Sixers to cover the 9.5. And for that to happen, Maxey has to step up because there's no Embiid and no George. So I'm taking Maxey over the points. And then for Tyrese Halliburton, I expect them to beat the Pistons. And he's averaged a double-double for 2 straight seasons. For 2 straight seasons, he's averaged over 20 points and over 10 assists. And then our last 2-player parlay is also a matchup thing. We got Devin Booker over 25.5 points and James Harden over 22.5 points. If we expect the over in this game, we got to go over on the points for the top scorers. Devin Booker averaged over 27 last year, so 25.5 is a good line. For Harden, he did average under 20, but you have to take into consideration there's no Kawhi and no Paul George, so he's going to have to score more. So those are all of the 2-player parlays. I have a 4-player parlay. These are my 4 favorite lines from the lines I have already given you. So it's Trae Young over the points, Josh Giddey over the PRA, Mobley over the points, and Jaime Jaquez over the PRA. So that is a 4-player parlay. That's 10 times your money. So if you put down 100, you're winning 1,000. You put down 10, you're winning 100. Whatever you put down, you're winning 10 times your money for those lines. So those are all of the player props. Like I said, I can't promise you guys NBA bets every single day, but as much as I can, whenever I'm not super busy posting NFL content, I'm going to try to give you guys some NBA bets. Honestly, even though I'm a big NFL guy and I watch NFL more, last year I made more money on NBA. So that's why I want to give you guys some bets, because I've had good success profiting on NBA more than NFL recently in the last couple of years. Even though I watch NFL more, it's kind of weird. But we got some bets for the first real game slate of the NBA season. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I love all of you.